Today, we're talking about something that can truly change your life: how to be a stoic female in dating and relationships. I'm sharing 3 important principles that will help you stay in your sovereign energy, honor your value, and attract or have a partner who respects your divine feminine. But before we get into it, hi, I'm Amy, and welcome to my channel. I'm here to help you get real, radiant, elevated, aligned, and liberated with me. So if you're into spirituality and holistic conscious living, subscribe to my channel and like my video if this resonates with you. I'm a spiritual mindset coach and a holistic health coach, and I've helped lots of women get what they want. So please let me know in the comments any questions you might have. And if you'd like to connect with me for a strategic consultation, just send me an email linked in the description box. But if you're ready to rise like a Sigma Phoenix in dating and relationships, let's get into it. First, let's clarify what Sigma energy really is. A Sigma girl is someone who operates outside the traditional hierarchies of society. She does not seek validation from anyone. Instead, she thrives on her own terms. She's self-reliant and fiercely authentic. So, embodying your Sigma energy really means just embracing your uniqueness and recognizing that you don't have to conform to anyone's expectations. You are the architect of your own life, and ultimately, this gives you that unfair advantage. Most girls are typical basic girls who are competing with each other and looking to get validation because they are very insecure. Not to say that we don't all have insecurities. Of course we do. We are human. But Sigma girls do not ever feel a need to compete with others. We know that when something isn't meant for us, another opportunity will come along that is more perfect for us. We trust in the divine order of things and know that everything is always working out for us. We do not live from a place of lack, fear, and competition. We understand that we are human beings, not human doings. So our worth comes from our existence, not from having to prove that we are worthy. We are worthy just because we are. I see a Sigma as a warrioress and a really free spirit. She doesn't need to adhere to a set of rules unless they are aligned with her beliefs and or created by her. She marches to the beat of her own drum. She is true to herself first and loves from a place of as you wish. She's a multidimensional quantum being who embodies her divine feminine. She has preferences and standards, and she will honor those above all else. So no more losing your sense of self, no more shrinking, overgiving, or losing your authenticity the moment you step into a relationship. It's time to change that with these 3 principles. Principle number 1, cultivate emotional sovereignty. The first step is understanding that your emotional state is your responsibility. Being a stoic, sovereign Sigma female means mastering your emotions, but doing it without becoming emotionally unavailable. Instead of being impulsive or reacting to a partner's actions, they just breathe and reply from a place of centeredness. When you feel triggered, pause and ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Recognize that your emotions are yours. They don't come from your partner's behavior or anyone else's behavior, but from the meaning that you're giving them. This is what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. It's about finding that space between what happens and when you choose to respond. When you master your emotional sovereignty, you're not just keeping your cool. You're prioritizing your own mental peace. This sends a clear message that you respect yourself enough to not give your power to anyone else's words or actions. This takes practice, so show yourself some grace if you find yourself reacting. It just shows where you have work to do, but keep working on mastering your emotions, because I believe that this is your greatest superpower. Think Kim Kardashian. Her energy is very emotionally sovereign, very demure, actually, and not reactive at all. Let's look at principle 2. Set clear boundaries, but do it with love. For the Sigma female, boundaries aren't walls. They're actually gateways to deeper, healthier connections. A self-loving Sigma girl knows that boundaries aren't about keeping people out. They're about keeping herself intact. In relationships, this means being crystal clear about what's acceptable and what is not, without being defensive or closed off. Strong boundaries are like a sign of really deep self-respect. They say, I love myself so much that I'll walk away from anything that disrupts my peace. And when you uphold your boundaries, you reinforce your worth, not just to your partner, but really to yourself. Principle number 3 is to maintain your individuality. A sovereign Sigma female never loses herself in a relationship. She knows that her partner is an addition to her already full life, not the center of it. She would be able to walk away from a relationship and still feel complete. It doesn't mean that you aren't sad because a relationship ended. You have feelings. It means that you're nurturing your passions, maintaining your friendships, and not compromising your goals or values for anyone. Maintaining your individuality in a relationship isn't about just protecting yourself. It's about elevating yourself. When you prioritize your growth and your happiness on your own, separate from your relationship, you're showing yourself love and respect. This creates a magnetic confidence that's irresistibly attractive. It sets a standard for you and for how you expect to be treated. I identify with something I call a Sigma Phoenix. I've risen into my stoic divine feminine and learned to apply all these 3 principles over time, as I think most of us do or will. Relationships help you become introspective so that you can know and love yourself more. That's really their purpose. People in our lives are always reflecting back to us who and where we are and what we need to work on. It's just when we don't turn eyes in and take responsibility for what we entertain, we take the victim route instead. But you are never a victim in a relationship that you're unhappy in, ever. You're always a volunteer. Once someone crosses your boundaries or preferences and you don't speak up or do anything about it, you do become a volunteer for more of that. It's okay, because that more of that is what Jeff Brown, whom I love, calls grist for the soul mill. So you'll just learn to love yourself more, and you'll know that you won't ever take that again. Sometimes when both people in an existing relationship are doing their own work to heal and to be sovereign, the dynamic can shift, and that can become the best relationship of your life. But if it doesn't, then you'll no longer be a vibrational match, and your inner being will just guide you to a different place. Abraham Hicks says, when you know what you don't want, then you have clarity on what you do want. And once you become a vibrational match to that, it will manifest. But it's best when the new relationship you're creating in your vortex ends up being the one you're already in. So you only focus on those preferences that you want, and you activate those in your partner while you yourself are rising into your Sigma Phoenix self. The moment you become a Sigma Phoenix, you will feel a major internal shift. You will rise up, not from a place of ego. No, 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 no. A true Sigma Phoenix rises up to meet herself and all of her own beauty. She doesn't resist, she becomes. And sometimes it takes certain relationships to reflect some of your shadows back to you in order to have that internal shift that I'm talking about. Most of the time, that's how a Sigma Phoenix girl rises. So be very grateful for those relationships. They are the springboard for your rise. Remember, being a self-loving, sovereign Sigma female in relationships isn't about being closed off or playing hard to get. We don't play games because we don't have to. It's about owning all of who you are and being so aligned with yourself that you naturally attract a partner who honors and respects your strength, your independence, and your value. You might also want to check out this similar video over here, and it's about cultivating queen energy using Neville Goddard's teachings. And if you've made it this far in the video, we are definitely on the same vibe. So give it a like, share it with a friend who you know would love this, and drop a quick comment so we can get to know each other more.